Hey wrestling fans, welcome to another episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic for August 16th, 2016, episode 154. As always, I'm Lance Brock, and on today's episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic, I will be recapping last night's episode of WWE Monday Night RAW, but before I get to RAW, I want to send out congratulations to the first ever Downriver champion, Buddy Hanlon, who won the King of Fighters tournament last Friday night in Allen Park. And also, congratulations to Kenny Omega, who became the first Gaijin to win the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax tournament over the weekend. So, congratulations to both of those guys. And now, on to last night's Monday Night RAW. And RAW was live on USA from Corpus Christi, Texas. And we see Seth Rollins outside looking for the Demon King. Is it just me, or did it kind of sound like when he said that he was saying Demon King every time? But we did not see Kane, or we haven't really seen Kane in a while, actually. And Rusev and Lana are in the ring, complaining about how Rusev ruined their wedding last week. And then he calls out Mick Foley to the ring, and Mick Foley ends up making a match tonight for Monday Night Raw, Rusev versus Roman Reigns. Now, SummerSlam this Sunday night will be for the Intercontinental Championship, but on Raw, it will be Rusev defending his wife's honor. And Byron Saxton is in the back with Sheamus. And he faces Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn picks up the win. And in the back, it is Tom Phillips with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. And also, the Dudley Boys take on the New Day. And before the match starts, we see the Club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson on the Titantron doing that doctor thing again. But the New Day picks up the win, and Anderson and Gallows come back up on the Titantron. And Seth Rollins is once again looking in for the Demon King, now I said it. But instead, he finds Neville in the back. Nia Jax is in action next, taking on Rachel Levy. Another squash match from Nia Jax. Destroys her. And Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman are next in the ring. And they cut a promo about the match coming up this Sunday night at SummerSlam against Randy Orton. And they're interrupted by Heath Slater. And at first, Heyman thinks he's trying to get Heyman to be his advocate. But Heath Slater says that he has a chance to get a contract with Monday Night Raw. And what he has to do is defeat Brock Lesnar in a match. And then they turn him down. Then Slater talks about his kids again. And then Lesnar destroys him. And next up, singles action. Big Cass taking on Kevin Owens. And Cass wins via disqualification after interference from Chris Jericho. And Roman Reigns' interview is next. And Rusev attacks him backstage to soften him up for the main event later. And next up, we have a reunion of the primetime players with Bob Backlund in their corner, and they take on the Rising Stars. During the match, Darren Young accidentally bumps Titus O'Neil off the apron, and O'Neil turns on him. So I'm guessing it was just a one-night-only reunion of the primetime players. And next, Neville defeated Jinder Mahal with the Red Arrow. Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon are in the back. And Mick Foley says this Sunday night at SummerSlam that Jon Stewart will be their special guest. And Seth Rollins comes into the room looking for the Demon King still. And he says he doesn't think the Demon King is going to show up, so he's just going to take the rest of the night off. Stephanie McMahon says that's fine. They don't really have much for him to do. But then Mick Foley says the thing to do would be to go in the ring and call him out. That's usually how it happens. So Rollins says that he'll go in the ring and call him out, and we go to a commercial break. And when we come back from that break, Rollins is in the ring. And during this, I didn't really notice it when it was live, but could see that Rollins was distracted by something that wasn't on the camera. And it turns out that it was a fan who jumped the barricade and ran in the ring. And now, reportedly, whoever that was had a knife on him. And luckily, he was arrested. Security was able to tackle him, get him out of the ring. But just to all the fans out there, don't be stupid. Don't try to jump the barricade and get in the ring. That ticket only allows you to sit in the audience and enjoy the show. You have no right to jump the barricade or even try to run into the ring. Just stay in your seat and enjoy the show. And we end up seeing the Demon, Finn Balor, make his way to the ring. And they fight a little bit, and Rollins exits. Now, I thought, of course, the entrance is great. The whole demon thing from Finn Balor. But I don't think they should have gave it away on the go-home show of Raw. I think they should have saved the whole demon entrance for SummerSlam, the Sunday big pay-per-view, big match coming up. I think they should have saved it. And let's see. The Golden Truth versus the Club is next. Of course, the Club wins, and then the New Day comes out to attack Gallows and Anderson. Sasha Banks is on commentary for our next match. It is the former women's champion Charlotte taking on Alicia Fox. Charlotte picks up the win. Sasha leaves the announce booth and goes down to the ring, and then she is attacked from behind by Dana Brooke. And Charlotte locks in the figure eight, and they will go one-on-one for the WWE Women's Championship this Sunday night at SummerSlam. Also, it was plugged last night that this week is SummerSlam week on the WWE Network. Last night, after Raw, was the first look at Holy Foley. And then Wednesday night, you got NXT and the Cruiserweight Classic and a special episode of 24 focusing on the Women's Wrestling Revolution. And, of course, Thursday, Talking Smack after SmackDown. Friday, Legends with JBL with Sting. That should be very good. And then Saturday night, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. Of course, Sunday is SummerSlam. 5 p.m. is the kickoff. And then 7 p.m. is the actual SummerSlam event. And right after SummerSlam, the first 5 episodes of Holy Foley will be available on demand exclusively on the WWE Network. And now it is time for the main event of the evening. Roman Reigns taking on Rusev in a non-title match. And they brawl all over ringside even before the match starts. And then Reigns wins this one via pinfall. I'm really not sure why they had a match on the go-home show before the pay-per-view, but they will face one-on-one for the United States Championship at SummerSlam. So that was Monday Night Raw. I thought it was an okay show. I'm going to say it was anything real great, but it wasn't that bad either. Just kind of okay. Meh. And also, before I wrap this episode up, gotta get some plugs in. As I mentioned at the top of the show, the first Downriver champion, Buddy Hanlon, was crowned last Friday night. And pay attention, very soon he will receive that championship on a new episode of Heel Fan News. Will be available on YouTube. For more information, like the page on Facebook, facebook.com/HeelFanNews. And remember, you can like 360 Wrestling Podcast on Facebook and follow the Facebook group for 360 Wrestling Podcast as well, and Twitter at 360 Wrestling Pod. The Instagram is 360 Wrestling Podcast, and you can also like the podcast that is all about the collective league of adrenaline, strength, and honor, Clash Wrestling 360 on Facebook. All Out War is coming up on the 27th, so we'll have an episode up soon. Stay tuned for that. And also we'll have more episodes of this podcast, 360 Wrestling Fanatic, soon. But until then, I am Lance, and I am a wrestling fanatic.